This week's Parsha, Parshas Naso, is the longest single Parsha. What's it about? The various jobs of the Leviim, Gershon, Kohanim, Merori, what they each carried for the Mishkan, the mitzvah of Nazir, someone who wants to dedicate himself for a particular period of time to become extra kadosh by refraining from becoming tamei, eating grape products and not cutting their hair, and the mitzvah of Birchas Kohanim, among other things. Birchas Kohanim, or duchening, of course, is not the bracha of Kohanim. It's Hashem's bracha that the Kohanim deliver. People are often quick to run to this Hasidic Rabbi or that gadol for a bracha, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us, "V'samu Shemia al bnei Yisrael, place my name over the Jewish people, v'ani avarchem, and I, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, will bless them." But as we see throughout today's parsha, the Kohanim, Shevet Levi, have a specific role to play. Rav Hirsch in Chaim writes that when the Kohanim, who are the official representatives of Klal Yisrael, when they give the bracha, the Birchas Kohanim, over to Klal Yisrael, it is in fact Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, that is making the declaration through its representatives that it expects that every bracha, be it physical or spiritual, comes directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rav Hirsch continues that each of the halachas of duchening serve to emphasize that the Kohen himself is not the one that grants the brachas, but he is a mere shaliach, a conduit, to give the brachas from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to Klal Yisrael. Now we refer to Birchas Kohanim in davening when the Chazan repeats the Shemona Esrei in Shacharis, in Musaf, Habracha HaMashuleshes, the threefold blessing. Now Rav Hirsch on the Parashah writes that these three brachas, the three pesukim that we have that make up Birchas Kohanim, correspond to the three kelim in the Beis HaMikdash. So the first pasuk, Yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless you and guard you. That refers to the physical blessings. And this is symbolic of the material well-being of the shulchan, the table that held the lechem haponim. The second bracha, the second pasuk, Ya'ir Hashem panav elecha, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu shine his countenance, his face, kaviyachol, towards you. That, of course, is symbolic of the menorah, or the mental enlightenment of Klal Yisrael. Spiritual, the Torah. Lastly, Yisah Hashem panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. That's represented by the Aron and the Kapores that rests above the Aron, which combines both of these, the Gashmias, the physicality, and the Ruchnias, the spirituality, completely expressing the presence of God everywhere. Now the Shulchan Aruch writes that the Kohanim have to do two things. We have to lift our hands, but we also have to face the people while giving these brachas. So the Minchas Asher, the Rabbi Weiss, explains that there's a parallel between duchenim, between Birchas Kohanim, and the keruvim that are on top of the Aron. And I think this is brilliant, and allow me to share this with you. When we look at the way that the Torah describes the positioning of these keruvim that rested above the Aron and the Kodesh HaKadoshim, Torah writes, this is in Shmois Perek Chaf Hei, V'hoya keruvim persech anafayim lamala, and the keruvim should spread out their wings upwards, soichachim b'chanfeim al kapores, spreading out, covering their wings over the kapores. Ufaneihem ish alachiv, each one of them literally faced his brother, faced each other. El kapores yiyu pnei keruvim. To the Kapores, they should be the faces of these cherubs, of these keruvim. So the wings are spread upwards, but also facing each other. When Kohanim duchen, the stance that they adopt is similar to these keruvim. It's a lovely symbolism, quite a very strong symbolism. But what does it mean? So Rav Weiss, he quotes the Yakar, who explains that we have a dual symbolism going on here. The two keruvim that were on top of the Aron are in the form of angels, called keruvim, But also, Chazal tell us they're in the form of children, which signifies the innocence and the purity that's required of the Kohanim and of the leaders. The wings pointing towards heaven, towards Shemayim, that symbolizes devotion to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, whereas the Keruvim facing each other represents peace. Right? That's the Yakar. Rabbi Weiss continues by referencing another very, very powerful image. Think back to the fight that Klal Yisrael have, the first fight that Klal Yisrael have against Amalek. And the Torah tells us, we all know this. When Moshe, so long as he has his hands pointing upwards, the Gavai Yisrael and the Jewish people are winning, they're managing to overpower, to vanquish the enemy. And when his hands get tired and he starts putting his hands down, the Gavai Amalek have the upper hand, so to speak. And the Mishnah asks famously, it's a song, do the hands of Moshe really make a difference? Who cares? Why should it make a difference? Why should the Bnei Yisrael be winning the war when Moshe's hands are up and Amalek are winning the war when his hands are down? Elalei Malach, says the Mishnah, but the hands, the symbolism of the hands come to teach you, so long as they're looking upwards, so long as they recognize the symbolism and they are meshubed themselves, they recognize that everything they do has to be l'shem shamayim. Their heart, their very essence, what it means to be a Jew, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then hayu meskabrim, then they were winning. Ve'im lav, but when they forgot that, when they forgot this symbolism, when they forgot what it means to observe, to recognize HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to recognize that all of our brachas come from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then hayu neiflim, then it would fall. The Mishnah goes on and gives other examples. The Saraf, the serpent that Moshe puts upon the snake that later heals Klal Yisrael after the plague. Again, so long as they were looking upwards, and it symbolized, and they understood that symbolism. The truth is that we have a lot of this. We have a lot of this in our devotion, in our mitzvahs. Think about the tzitzis. The tzitzis, the blue chalazon and the tzitzis are supposed to remind us eventually to look upwards, the blue sky, and remind us of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In order for Birchas Kohanim to be effective, we need to understand these two distinct, powerful messages. We have the upstretched hands, which serve to continually remind Klal Yisrael just where their brachas are coming from, and to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So long as Klal Yisrael focused on Moshe Rabbeinu's hands facing upwards, so long as we remember the tzitzis, so long as we picture this symbolism, we are able to defeat even the very strongest, greatest of enemies. On the other hand, no pun intended, the Kohanim's arms are outstretched, pointing towards everyone, just like the Keruvim faced each other. And this refers to mitzvahs bein adam l'chaverei, the way we interact with each other, which of course contains equal importance. Ramban teaches us that the two luchos were split between the mitzvahs bein adam l'makom and the mitzvahs bein adam l'chaverei. And Rashi explains that the reason why the word luchos is written choser, just lamed ches sof, without the vav, is because they are of equal importance and they're not worth anything without the other. Rabbi Yisrael Salanta said that when Moshe Rabbeinu came down from Har Sinai and he sees the Jewish people, he sees Klal Yisrael worshipping the Egel Azav, or the golden calf, Moshe Rabbeinu only planned on smashing the first tablet, which contained the Dibros Anechi Hashem Elokecha Lo Yeh Lecha Elohim Acherim. I mean, after all, they hadn't transgressed anything on the second tablet. They're dancing nicely around together. The first tablet, which is about mitzvahs bein adam l'makom, that's the one they transgressed. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe that the luchos are miksha achas. They're made up of one indivisible Torah. And that's why we have the Kri Kasiv, Vayishlach miyadoi miyadav, to remind us of this. Let's not forget, though, just where these keruvim were placed. In the most holy place of the Beis Hamikdash, above the Oren, that contained these luchos, including the broken ones. Because we must never forget, Kedusha requires both elements. We've got to lift our wings heavenward, striving to build a beautiful, meaningful relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, committing unconditionally to observing all of his mitzvahs, while at the same time facing each other, living peaceful, harmonious and compassionately with each other. Just like the dual symbolism of these keruvim, the Kohanim have to assume the same position when duchening, in order to teach us that the brachas, in order to be ra'oi, in order to be fitting to accept the brachas, to receive these brachas, we have to have an unwavering commitment to both fundamental areas of Torah life, our relationship to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and our relationship towards each other. So Birchas Kohanim then is not only a blessing, it's not just a bracha, but it's also a challenge and a calling. It charges us to reinforce our commitment both to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and our commitment towards each other as a precondition for us to be able, for us to be worthy to receive the brachas from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The halacha is that the Kohanim don't lower their arms and we don't turn around until the chazan begins saying the bracha Sim Shalom. Right, we say the bracha during the bracha of Modim. We stay with our hands up, with the talis over our hands. We have to wait till the chazan begins the last bracha, Sim Shalom, give peace, and only then can we turn around. The ultimate bracha is that of Shalom. And especially in the world today, with such racism and social unrest that is dominating the news, we would do well to be mindful of this dual symbolism as we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the ultimate bracha of Shalom.